Hey guys, let's discuss new question, which is what is RAG? So RAG is your retrieval augmented generation. Okay, so now here, okay, so now what is retrieval here? So what is retrieval? Retrieve is retrieve relevant information from database or document. Okay. Now what is add? What is augment here? So means then add that information to the prompt and then generate so an answer using an LLM. Okay, generate an answer using an LLM like ChatGPT. So let's see. See, the simple flow is user is typing some question. Okay, and now you wanted to, so what will happen, we will convert that, okay, here we will have one database. Okay, let's start from starting. So you will have one database, but this database is something different. It is not storing plain text information. It is storing embeddings. Okay, now what is embeddings? Embeddings is nothing but a numbers. So let's say I'm saying I'm storing some company leave policy document. Okay, so I will convert that PDF file into numbers. So for example, if let's say I have something like shoes. So shoes, I will not store directly shoes. It will store in the form of numbers like 0.21 comma 0.41, something like this. Okay, so then it will store something like this, and these numbers are called embeddings. Okay, so let's say you're storing company document, so you will store in the form of embeddings, and then after that so you have already stored some document into your database. Now user is querying, like he wanted to know all the company policy leave policies. Okay, so that question also you will convert into embeddings. Okay, so now you have converted that question into embeddings, and that question, using that question, I will search into the database. I will get the relevant information. Okay, relevant documents, and not the complete document. I will get the chunks, the relevant chunks only, not the entire document. And then I will send this information, which information, this chunks, and plus my answer, my question, okay, to LLM. Now LLM is the model, pre-trained model. Okay, and then it will take this data and then will give me answer in the form of response. Okay, so this is the complete flow, and here we will see that how you retrieve document from database, and then how it is doing the semantic search and everything. But this is the normal flow, what is happening. Okay, and why we are finding the chunks from database and sending it to LLM, not directly sending question to LLM, all those things we will see here. Okay, now here, instead of AI depending only on what it learned during the training, it first search your data and then answer. Okay, so we are not directly depending on the LLM, we are sending our data also. So it could be company specific data which LLM doesn't know, right? So now RAG is the technique where we first retrieve relevant information from external knowledge sources like vector databases, and then provide the context to LLM to generate accurate, up-to-date responses. Now if we talk about the simple real life example, so let's say imagine that you ask what is our company leave policy. Okay, so what will happen if without RAG, what it will do, AI answer from its own training knowledge. Okay, now your company policy is specific to your company. How LLM will know about your document, right, until and unless it is not public. So it may hallucinate or give generic HR policy. Now this is the main problem. What is hallucination here? So AI will give answer some wrong answers. Okay, because at the end, what is LLM? LLM is just predicting next word. Okay, that's it. So you have given one question. Now what should be the next word? It is just a very powerful search engine, you can say, and it is predicting the next word, and then it is doing that in a loop. So that is the normal process of LLM. Okay, so it doesn't have any this thing that means if he doesn't know, he can hallucinate the answer also. He can give you some wrong answers. So we will see in this series how you can, what are the ways you can, you can control that, and all those things we will see in future videos. So now with RAG, what will happen? AI first search your company document, find the actual leave policy PDF, read relevant section, and then generate accurate answer. So this is the normal flow. User question, okay, user will question, and then search relevant document from vector database, and then that collected document plus your question it will send to LLM, and then LLM generate final answer. Now think of RAG like an open book exam. Okay, so without RAG, so student is answering only from his memory, but with RAG, student can first open the book and then find the relevant page and then answer. So opening the book is the part of retrieval here. Okay, now the next question is why RAG is needed. So LLM have a problem. See why you're using here RAG. Okay, first you are retrieving and then you're adding that whatever you have retrieved, you're adding that with your question, and then you're generating the answer from LLM. Okay, why you are doing this step? Because LLM have problems. Okay, which kind of problem? Knowledge can become outdated. Okay, LLM is trained some old data, let's say, and then hallucination, he will give some wrong answers to you. Then cannot know private company data. Okay, how he knows your private company data? If it is public, then he will know only, right? So hard to retrain model frequently. Now if you don't want outdated data, so you need to retrain the model, okay, and which is expensive. So RAG solves find this by connecting AI with external data. Example, so chatbot for company document. Okay, so you can create a company document chatbot. So here suppose company has PDFs, wiki pages, policies, Jira documents, and emails. Okay, so now user will ask, how do I apply for reimbursement? So what will be the normal flow? See, user will query that how do I apply for reimbursement. What it will do, convert query into vector, okay, in the form of embeddings or numbers, and then search the similar document from vector database. So you have already added all this information in the database in the form of embeddings. Okay, so he will search from database, so he will find two documents like reimbursement underscore policy and expense claim steps dot document. Okay, so what it will do, it will send this context, this will call the context. Okay, so it will send this context to LLM. Now here he is not sending complete document. Okay, he is sending like employee must submit bills within 30 days or use SAP portal. Okay, so he is sending chunks. And why we are sending chunks? Because you're sending it to LLM, and LLM context window is limited. Okay, so you cannot send the lengthy context there. And then plus your question. Okay, so context plus your question will go to LLM, and then final AI response will get generated like submit bills within 30 days using SAP portal. So now if here you talk about the main components of RAG, okay, so that will be the first one will be the embedding model. So now the first one is embedding model. So what is embedding model? Convert text into vector. So this model, what it will do, it will just convert your text into vector. Like if your text is something like this Apple phone, so its equivalent vector will be like this 0.23, 0.91, 0.44. So you can see 1, 2, 3 different multiple directions dimensions here, right? So vector is a multi-dimensional thing. So here you can have multiple dimensions, and why that also we will discuss in this series. Okay, everything. Now similar meaning text have similar vectors. Okay, so vector, second one is vector database. So here we are talking about main components of RAG. The first one was embedding model, second one was vector database. So store embeddings for similarity search. Okay, so where you will store this embeddings? In vector databases. What are the examples of vector databases? Pinecone, Weaviate, Milvus. Okay, now retriever, the third component is retriever. So what retriever does? Find top matching documents, for example top 3 similar chunks. Here we are not giving the complete document or something, he is just finding the relevant chunks. LLM so uses retrieved context to generate final answer, like for example OpenAI model or Anthropic models. Now important concept here, the chunking. Okay, so next is important concept is chunking. So large documents are split into small pieces called chunks, as I told you. Example PDF of 100 pages will split into 500 chunks. Okay, and why? Because LLM context window is limited. So this is what we already discussed. Example with search. So let's say suppose user asks how to reset password. Okay, so now system will retrieve IT support document and password reset steps. So LLM answer based on this retrieved text. This is why modern AI search feels like intelligent. Okay, Now, where RAG is used, see, you can use RAG multiple places, like you have to create AI chatbot, okay, company support bots, you can use that. Then AI search engine like semantic search you can use. Customer, what is semantic search? Let's say I am giving like give me the salary information. So not only salary, if he has a compensation.pdf, so he will retrieve that information also. Okay, so semantically he will search, not the exact keyword search. Customer support, so answer with manuals or documents you can use there. Then coding assistant, you can create search internal code bases. And then healthcare or in legal also you can use RAG, search domain specific document. Now, difference between normal search versus RAG. So normal search, you can say Google search and then RAG, okay? So like return links and document, okay? When you search something on Google, you will get the links or documents, but here it will return the final answer. User reads manually and here AI will summarize it, okay? Like in ChatGPT. Keyword matching, and this is semantic understanding. This is what we discussed. What is semantic understanding? Now, not conversational, and then this is conversational. You can ask different questions after that, but in Google you don't ask it. You cannot ask, right? So this is the normal architecture. Like user will query, okay? So embedding model will convert that query into vectors. And then in vector databases you already have few documents which you have stored in the form of embeddings. So it will search that it will do semantic search and will retrieve the relevant document and will send that to LLM. Okay, so LLM will generate answer using retrieved context, and then final response you will be getting. So this is about the RAG. That's it. Thank you.